Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, Derek, another fun and exciting video for you guys today, and one that I was very excited to make. That is because I'm talking about even 10 more games I would love to see Plaion release on the new Neo Geo AES Plus, because you guys have been hungry for more Neo Geo content, so I figured I'd make one more of these. And if you guys keep watching and the views keep up, then I will definitely keep doing this. So if you enjoy this, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and definitely leave a comment so the algorithm knows that you are stoked for the new Neo Geo AES Plus. And just so you know, I didn't do any research on who holds the rights to these games outside of the ones that I know SNK owns, so I'm not saying that this is a possibility. I'm just saying it's what I would love to see, because people are hungry for more Neo Geo AES Plus content, asking if the AES Plus is worth buying and what I think of it, so that's definitely what we're going to be doing today. But again, before we get too far involved, do me a huge favor, hit like and subscribe, ring that notification bell, and if you feel so inclined, we've got a Patreon link down below as well. But starting right off, I would love to see Last Resort get another actual release. This is one that I have as an AES cartridge and absolutely love the game, and it is one of my favorite shmups on the console. Kind of plays a little bit like an R-Type clone in all the best ways, and kind of plays a little bit like Pulsar, except faster moving with more projectiles. I would say as far as horizontal shmups in the system are concerned, I would put Last Resort behind something like Pulsar and Blazing Star in third place, but that definitely is a good place to be. I love the graphics on this one, I love the overall vibes and styling, and it really is a game that I feel like needs to get a lot more love than it does on Neo Geo, because anytime people talk about horizontal shmups, you're going to hear Pulsar, you're going to hear Blazing Star, and Last Resort will definitely enter the conversation, but not as often. But as you'll see here with all of the deaths, this game is brutally hard, it does not hold your hand, and it's going to take you a long time to actually get good at it. And big thanks to Kilter Music for helping with the captures. I made him do some of these as well to get his impression, because I always like to talk about these things, not in the echo chamber that is my own brain. But for every game, you leave me a comment down below and you tell me if you played it before and what do you think of it. There's just something about this that I absolutely love, and I almost put ASO2 or Alpha Mission in here in its place, because that is a game that I've always loved as well, but there's just something about Last Resort that I feel like takes the edge as far as which game I would recommend. But again, if you guys keep watching these, I'll keep making more and talking about more Neo Geo games I'd love to see come over to the new AES Plus, because it's definitely exciting and future forward. And also, if you haven't pre-ordered one, tell me why you didn't down below, and if you did pre-order one, I would be curious as well. Now, if they're going to release the original Shock Troopers on AES for the first time, why not get Shock Troopers 2? This game definitely isn't as good as the original, but it has a lot of fun to it. Yeah, they definitely changed the graphical styling up and made it a bit more cartoonish, but I think it definitely works, and it really is a very fun game. And it is a little bit of a bummer that Shock Trooper Second Squad doesn't get the acclaim it deserves, because again, when it's compared to the original, yes, the original Shock Troopers is the more fun title, and it's not often that a sequel ends up not doing as well as the original game. I think just basically because of the graphics completely changing to more of this pre-rendered look, not as many people are into it, but I think this is definitely one you would enjoy the ever-loving hell of if you played it, and I would love to see this thing get an AES Plus release, because that really is the fun thing about the new Plaion Replay Neo Geo AES Plus. It's going to bring this system back to the market, and I hope, even though we don't have any confirmation as of me recording this voiceover, that people make new games for this. I would love to see SNK do something like actually make a new Metal Slug game for the AES Plus. Just imagine a reality where the AES is actually back on the market as a console, quote-unquote competing with PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Switch 2. Now granted, it would be way more niche than that, but it's definitely a future I want to live in, and I want this thing to be amazing hardware and super successful, because I can't believe I'm going to be living through the second time that the AES and Neo Geo is being sold as a console for people. I never saw it coming, and I'm absolutely happy it's here. Let's do our first soundtrack sample, Shock Troopers, and I'll be right back with a lot more.
Ready, boys? Power stop! Metal up! Metal up! Power stop! And mission! Ready, boys? Power stop! Metal up! And metal up! Ammunition.
Amazing soundtrack, amazing game, and I hope we see a new copy of it. Now moving over, that definitely doesn't need to happen, but I'd love to see it category would be Bust a Move, or as it's more popularly known, I'll always call it Puzzle Bobble. This interestingly never got an AES release back in the day, but it was basically in every single MVS cabinet in every single arcade known to man, and still to this day, at least in my opinion, I didn't look up the exact numbers, it is the #1 most bootleg MVS cart out there, because it was absolutely super popular. And do I already own an MVS cart for this thing? Well, yes I do. I have both a bootleg as well as an original copy, but would I love to put an AES copy on my shelf? Absolutely as well. It's one of those things, maybe they will have different games at different price points, because I can't imagine, at least in the US where they're getting $90 a game, that there's going to be that many people that are really stoked to actually pay $90 for an AES cartridge of something like Puzzle Bobble. I mean, I would do it, but I'm absolutely an idiot with more common sense than basically a stump. But it's one of those things, definitely one of my favorite games of all time on Neo Geo, and even if I have multiple ways to play it, it's still one that I would love to see a re-release for. Now let's talk about Art of Fighting 3. It might not be the best game on the Neo Geo AES when it comes to fighting games, but as far as the animations are concerned, it absolutely is the best looking fighting game in that department. SNK went absolutely over the top with the animations in Art of Fighting 3, so much so that you actually get a much smaller roster of characters than you normally would, because they wanted this thing to be an absolute masterclass showpiece in just how well the Neo Geo could animate sprites and look incredibly good. And I firmly believe, and I'm sure there's going to be some comments down below, but trust me, I love them both. Art of Fighting 3 proves that as far as animations are concerned, they could absolutely best Capcom when it came to Street Fighter Alpha 3 and even Street Fighter 3 in my opinion, because these are absolutely lush visuals, and these backgrounds here are straight up 10 out of 10 any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And it's one of those things, when people think fighting games on Neo Geo, they think Garo Mark of the Wolves, they think King of Fighters, Samurai Showdown, The Last Blade, those sort of titles, and for some reason, Art of Fighting always gets put into this second class category, and even though it is not a perfect fighting game, it is absolutely a stunning one, and again, it's one that I would love to see published on an AES Plus cart. And the good thing is, SNK still owns all the rights to their own games, so it's one of those things, they don't actually have to go out and try to get the rights from third parties, because I'm sure there's probably going to be a couple games that someone like Plaion would love to publish on the AES Plus, and they just can't get the rights or can't get them at a price that would actually make this thing profitable, because they've definitely teased and asked the community what other games they'd love to see come over to the AES Plus. I think that is very smart, and I think they definitely have plans to make a lot more cartridges in the future, and that's going to make us all happy. But even though the video is not done, you leave me a comment down below and you tell me what's the one game you would love to see announced. Let's do a soundtrack sample of Art of Fighting 3 because it got some incredible music, but come back. I still have a lot more games to show you as far as I'm concerned. Moving back over to shmups, I would love to see Ironclad get an AES cartridge. That's because this game never came out on AES and never came out on MVS. It was advertised in magazines back in the day and even a flyer for MVS arcade systems, but it ended up being a Neo Geo CD exclusive, and to this day it's absolutely a fortune. So I would love to see this thing come out on AES. I could actually put a cart on my shelf that was quote unquote official. And I know there's a lot of comments about this stuff, trust me. The AES Plus carts are not AES carts. They are recreations, they are reprints, whatever word you want to call them, except for bootlegs, definitely not that. But it is one of those things. AES Plus carts are never going to be viewed by the collecting community and Neo Geo collectors the same way original cartridges are. But for something like Ironclad, where it doesn't even have an official release as far as carts are concerned, yes, you can get conversions, but those aren't real. It's one of those things. I'd love to see more of these Neo Geo CD exclusives come over to AES Plus, because I'm sure soundtracks could be pivoted up, and it would absolutely be fun to have. And something like Ironclad here, absolutely just 100% a vibe. Kind of feels like a futuristic and also Victorian shmup, all in the best ways, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Pro Gear, not in the overall bullet density, but in the overall presentation. And honestly, Taurus, the developer on this one, made absolutely fun games. This is one that I feel like not a lot of people have actually played. It's not the most colorful thing in the world, but what other enemy army is going to have a train you battle where you actually have to battle a metal giraffe and a metal elephant? This game is weird, it is definitely quirky, and it really is one that I absolutely love and think you guys would love too. You can leave me a comment down below and you tell me, as far as shmups on Neo Geo are concerned, which ones are your favorite. For me, every day of the week, Pulsar is absolutely the best shmup on the system, and I am so glad that that's getting printed on AES Plus, even if I have an original card as well. But moving back to fighting games, World Heroes Perfect, one of the earlier games on the Neo Geo and in the old Neo Geo style, I think would be great as well, so people realize that not every single Neo Geo game looks as stunning as some of those later releases. It's also going to be our next soundtrack sample, so go ahead and listen for like 45 seconds or so, but come back. I have even more games I'm going to show you that I'd love to see reprinted on AES Plus carts.
Round one, fight! 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 Hit! 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 Fight! Hit! Hit! Fight! Sumo! Hit! 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 Fight! You win! Fight!
I mean, World Heroes Perfect is a very fun game. If that isn't just Hulk Hogan over there on the right hand side of the screen, I don't know who it is. Definitely a lot of inspiration, quote unquote, borrowed from different popular forms of entertainment back in the day. But you have to remember that Neo Geo isn't stuff like Guru Mark of the Wolves, King of Fighters, things like that. It's also World Heroes Perfect. It's also a lot of the early games like the original Fatal Fury that just had a completely different style. This one kind of feels almost like it's riding the fence, sitting right in the middle between the original Neo Geo style and the later games, because I know a lot of people love to talk about some of the prettiest games on Neo Geo, but there's a ton of fun games out there that came out early in the life cycle that just look completely different. That really is interesting for a piece of hardware. Yes, developers always get a better handle on the system and get more performance out of it as time goes on, but Neo Geo was on the market for so long you really feel like the system had two completely different console generations, even if it's the same hardware. Now, obviously, Neo Turf Masters, and no, I'm not calling it Big Tournament Golf, that's not its name in my book, is going to be made on an AES Plus cartridge, and I have that on pre-order. But Baseball Stars 2 is basically the baseball version of Neo Turf Masters, and all of its over-the-top arcade glory. It is the type of thing, it is perfect for a two-player game. If you want to have a game night and you have friends that don't like playing fighting games or don't know the fighting games and can't actually understand them the way you can, absolutely everyone can pick up something like Baseball Stars 2 and absolutely run with it and have an incredible time. And don't get me wrong, the original Baseball Stars fun time as well, but Baseball Stars 2 is just absolutely a bigger, better version of the game, and something I would love to have on my shelf as an AES Plus copy, because I swore I thought I had this thing, but maybe I sold it to somebody a long time ago. Because I was going through my collection just recently, I thought to myself, I thought I owned this thing, but maybe I actually had a false memory. But it's one of those things that I don't say this as a brag. When I have this many games, sometimes even I get confused as to what I actually own. But Baseball Stars 2 definitely is a game. If you're looking for something to play on your Neo Geo AES Plus, and it actually works with flash cartridges, that is the presumption, but we don't know, at least for the recording of this video. Definitely check this one out, and it is one that I would absolutely pay $90 for. Because again, apparently I don't own the game, or I did own the game and basically sold to somebody and forgot I did that. But I've been collecting for Neo Geo for 21 years now, so even my memory gets a little bit fuzzy. Honestly, I was basically 21 when I bought my first Neo Geo game, and I'm definitely not 21 now. Now moving over to what is one of my favorite fighters of the earlier generation, Fatal Fury Special is just straight up a 10 out of 10 game, and I absolutely love the original style, and even though something like Guru Mark of the Wolves is in the same franchise, you would have absolutely no idea based upon how it looks. But don't discount these early games, and it's one of those things. I'm sure a lot of people right now are rushing out to eBay to try to buy some of the cheaper games for AES, and I can definitely already see the prices going up, which is something I said in a previous video. It's not going to make the games get cheaper, it's going to make them get more expensive, because Fatal Fury Special has long been one of the cheapest AES cartridges you can buy out there, because it was produced in mass and it was a very popular game. But I was just recently looking at it, seems like Fatal Fury Special's gone up like 20-25% in cost, so if you do want to pick up a couple of the cheaper AES cartridges, don't wait around, because we know the AES Plus is going to be compatible with those original carts per Plaion's own statement on the website. But it's one of those things, I keep getting comments, people asking if I'm worried about the value of my Neo Geo collection. One, I'm not, because I don't buy video games as investments. I buy them to play them and have fun, and to have the physical cartridge in my AES when I play it just for that experience. But I definitely don't think it's going to make them any cheaper, because all I'm seeing is prices on the cheap games rise a little bit right now. well. Speaking of rising, let's rise up and listen to our next soundtrack sample. Yes, that was a cheap transition, about 35 seconds, but come back as I still have more Neo Geo games to show you. I mean, Fatal Fury Special is absolutely a vibe, and it's one that I'm there for. And even though I say King of Fighters 2002 is the better game, King of Fighters 98 could be the better game, just depends on what day of the week you ask me. But considering Neo Geo AES Plus is already getting a copy of King of Fighters 2002, I feel like 98 would be the next best thing for them to publish. And just like 2002, this is a dream match. It doesn't really have any storyline in it. It is just an absolute collection of amazing stages and amazing character rosters. And yes, this game has been re-released as different versions and more modernized versions with more characters and stages, but the AES original is still an incredible option, and one that if you don't own it would be worth picking up on AES Plus if it does get published. And it's one of those things I would love to see the entire King of Fighters run get re-released for AES Plus. And even if I have a full set of King of Fighters games 94 to 2003 as AES copies, I'd love to see more people be able to get them on their shelf, because again, collecting Neo Geo stuff, even if it's going to be AES Plus, is just so fun. Now for the last game in my list, I would love to see Sonic Wings 3 get an AES copy as well, because what other game has the Eiffel Tower as a robot? That's actually a trick question, because there is another shmup that features the Eiffel Tower also as an enemy, and that is definitely a deep cut piece of trivia, so if you know it, leave me a comment down below. But this game is just absolutely awesome. Maybe it's not the best shmup on the system, but it really is fun that it is a vertical shmup, but in the horizontal aspect ratio, which is something you don't always see that often. And it's one of those things, this game has such a weird sense of personality, so many weird bosses and characters. You just always see something new and something different coming out of the screen. Pun very much intended for the fact that that tank actually just phased through what seemed to be some sort of portal from space. And trust me when I say Sonic Wings 3, it'll kind of lull you into a false sense of security with not being all that weird at the beginning, but when you get later into the game, you're going to encounter stuff like ships that are shooting monkeys at you in space. That is not me making stuff up, you'll see it on screen in just a moment. So that is the 10th game I would love to see republished for AES Plus, but again, you leave me your comments down below and you tell me, right now knowing there's only 10 announced games, which one would you like to be the 11th? And when I said monkeys coming out of a ship, I 100% mean it. We're doing one last soundtrack sample because the music here is straight up amazing, and I'll be right back to close out the video for you. So yeah, those are the 10 games I would love to see republished for AES Plus, and if this video does well, again, it's part 2. I will definitely keep making them, but I basically structure all of these things based upon whether or not you are watching them, so if you want to see more, tell me down below. But short of that, we're done. The Neo Geo is back, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.